let's see. She-Hulk, Attorney at Law. So, starting off, the plot for the first episode starts with Bruce and Jen on a car ride, and then a Sakaar ship randomly goes in front of them, and Jen swerves off to the side, leaving a big car crash where they do some flips, and Hulk, or Bruce Banner, starts bleeding, and it goes into open womb engine, and that's how she gets her powers. And then the rest of the episode is her basically training using her powers, and then at her lawyer job where she's defending someone, and then Titania randomly breaks through. Alright, so what I like how she did the Hulk clap, classic Hulk clap. We haven't seen that since the Incredible Hulk in 2008. I'm pretty sure. The training montage was good, and we see Titania for the first time. Throughout the show, she's not that great of a threat, but it's fine. And then the Sakaar thing could set up something really big, and I guess it kind of does, but we'll see. Okay, so what I don't like is it was kind of boring. This was probably my least favorite episode, but it's fine. They got over things quickly, like her training wasn't that long, and I get it. They don't want to focus on that stuff because this is supposed to be more of a lawyer show with a superhero than it is a superhero show. And then the Hulk fight was kind of, I think they just did it to look cool. There was no really real reason for it. So, how bad is the CGI really? I think the trailer looks pretty bad. It's the top picture. In the show looks better, but still not that good. But I don't think the CGI really matters. It doesn't affect the show that much. I think when people say it has bad CGI as a criticism, I really disagree with that. Shows can be great with bad CGI. By the way, I got this photo from direct.com. The reason why I think Smart Hulk became human was because simply just they did the post-credit for Shang-Chi really late, and they just didn't have enough time to CGI it or something. So they just made up, so they were like, oh, we'll just explain it in She-Hulk. Because the She-Hulk thing went nowhere. We'll see in the future if he uses the thing to be human again. I hope not. I'd rather it be Smart Hulk, unless they make him human and then somehow make that go back to the old Hulk. That'd be cool. And then if there's an in-universe reason, I'd say he was just sick of being big, or maybe trying to find inner peace or something. Another question that I had while watching She-Hulk was, how does Titania have powers? Because in the comics, it's Dr. Doom gave her it using alien tech. We don't have Doom in the MCU yet, so my theory is that maybe she's a mutant, and I have a theory that, like, the reason why we don't have mutants yet is because, like, maybe mutants are just now starting to exist after the snap or something, or the blip or something. Now, for She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, Episode 2. So, Episode 2 plot, Jen gets fired from her job because of the Titania incident. She goes job hunting, gets denied. But she gets the job as a head of the superhero division at the law firm that she was against in the first episode. Her best friend is her new paralegal. Her coworker Pug gives her a map to the best bathroom to poop in. Jen gets the task by her boss Holloway to help Abomination get out on parole. She hesitates at first, but she has to because if she doesn't, she'll get fired. And then, right at the end of the episode, the footage of Abomination fighting Wong from Shang-Chi gets leaked. We also get some fun Easter eggs with Wolverine reference about a guy with metal claws in a bar fight. And we see some Iron Man 3s, which is pretty cool, and we'll see more of those later. Can I just say, Abomination is such a liar. He claims that he just wanted to be a superhero. He was an army guy. He was told to do this stuff. But no, he held the leader, Samuel Stern, at gunpoint and told him to inject him with the Hulk blood so he could become the Abomination. He's such a liar. It's his fault that he became the Abomination and did what he did in Harlem. Let's talk about the Hulk family. All of these pictures are from the Avengers fandom Wikipedia thing. But the Hulk family, we have Morris and Elaine Walters, which is Jen's mom and dad. We also see Rebecca Walters, which is assumed to be Hulk's mom. It sucks that means we probably won't see the Bruce Banner sad, tragic backstory of his mom dying. But we do see Ched's dad and Ched's mom, Tucker and Mulaney. I probably said that wrong. We also see the MCU's next Iron Man, Ironheart who? We got something better. Ched. He got promoted to the Best Buy manager. And he's the Best Buy manager by day, DJ by night. Genius all the time. Ched is his name. And getting a woman is his game. But anyways, Hulk's genetics explained. So what people are saying is Hulk's family has special genes that which is what makes the GMM give them the Hulk powers. But I disagree with that. I think it would be a better explanation that it has to go in your blood or something. Because the main thing is, it's like when Hulk got his blood in the juice, why did it get people sick but not turn them into Hulks? And I think it's because they just drunk it. They didn't get it like put in their bloodstream. That's how I see it anyways. Then we have She-Hulk Attorney at Law episode 3. Okay, so the plot is Blonsky explains how he was forced out of his cell but chose to come back, and obviously referring to the fact that Wong forced him to get out of his cell so we could fight him in the fight. But when Wong gave him an option to just live out in the wizard school, Blonsky decided to go back. And then Nikki looked up Wong's name on the internet to see if she could contact Wong, and so that way he can prove that what Blonsky is saying is true. And she does find him. She finds out he used to work at a Target. Well, not as good as a Best Buy, but, Target it is. And, he does, and he clears up Blonsky's name, and Blonsky's out with parole, and, he lives on a compound with his 7 soulmates. And then the B plot is Pug is forced to help Jen's ex-coworker sue a light elf that was impersonating Megan Thee Stallion while dating him. This is a fun thing. I know it led to the post-credit scene with them dancing and people got mad at that, but it's like, bro, it's just all in good fun. It's not that serious. the question I see people asking is, why did it take so long for the clip to resurface? It's because the fight was illegal, so it's also illegal to attend the fight and record the fight. So that's probably why they just didn't want to get in trouble. But why did it come out now? Maybe somebody was trying to get at Blonsky, but maybe it was a family member that was trying to get back at him. But who knows? Who knows? But the question is, should the abomination be let out? My answer is maybe. He betters people's lives in jail with helping the library out, helping that prison guard get over his ex-wife, and he made amends with the Hulk. Now, the real question is, did he make amends with the other victims' families and stuff? If so, then yeah, maybe he should be able to get out on parole, but I don't know. Maybe he shouldn't. Okay, let's talk about the Wrecking Crew and each of their, magical things. Got the Wrecker with the magic crowbar, Pile Driver with the magic gauntlets, Thunderball with the magic wrecking ball, and Bulldozer with the magic helmet. In the comics, it came from Wrecker being, some type of god person was trying to give powers to Loki or something, but he ended up accidentally giving powers to Wrecker. And then he gave it to 3 people in prison. That's all I know about it. And in the comics, in the MCU, it seems like they just robbed some Asgardian people and stole their tech. Okay, so why would Wong remember the memory wipe? Well, basically, he would remember the wipe because he remembers having a conversation with Doctor Strange about it. He just doesn't remember what it's for. He doesn't remember that it was for wiping Peter Parker's identity out. Or maybe he might remember that it's wiping Spider-Man's true identity and just not what Spider-Man's identity is. Who knows? I don't think we'll get a straight answer for this, though. Okay, so Light Elves. Light Elves are a species that comes from the 9 realms. She just must have been on Asgard for whatever reason during Thor Ragnarok, because she is from New Asgard. We have seen Dark Elves before, but not Light Elves till now. All we really know about the MCU Light Elves is that they can shapeshift. Hopefully we see more of that. I've been wanting to see more Light Elves ever since, early on in Thor Ragnarok. I was like, yeah. I just think the whole Megan Thee Stallion thing is super funny. How she actually shows up in the MCU. It's just so perfect. Episode 4 of She-Hulk Attorney at Law. So, the episode 4 plot. We see Donnie Blaze, not Johnny Blaze, doing a magic show where she puts a girl named Madison with 2 N's and a Y, but not where you think, in a portal that leads to basically hell. She comes back through a portal, but it leads her to Wong, and Wong's like, hey, where did you come from? She explains what happens, and then Wong tries to sue Donnie Blaze for using real magic, but it doesn't really work out. And then, meanwhile, we see Jen online dating. It doesn't really work out, so she decides to online date as She-Hulk instead of Jen. And she gets more dates, but all of them are still jerks, except for this one guy. And it works, and then, right when they go back to Jen's place, Wong opens a portal and is like, hey, I need help, because a bunch of Hellbats are coming out of a portal that Donnie Blaze made. So they had to fight the Hellbat things. And then she went back, then found out this guy was also a jerk. Okay, so Johnny Blaze, or Donnie Blaze, was a student at Kamataj, but he got kicked out because he snuck too many kegs of beer for his college roommates. But he kept the sling, which makes him be able to use the magic powers that he uses in his shows. Alright, here's my She-Hulk mid-show checkup. How good is it so far? I would say it's been decent, but there's no real plot or threat, which is okay because this is a lawyer show, not a superhero show. She might have superpowers, but it's mainly a lawyer show with extra super antics. Wong, or Wongers, was fun. He had a good run in this show. I wish we got more of him, but it's fine. Because this is Jen's show, not Wong's. I loved when he helped Blonsky, when we saw him with Addison. I still don't know if it's Addison or Madison with 2 N's, but now what do you think? And I wish we or at least I hope we see him have like some sort of love interest in the future. That'd be awesome. Now moving on to She-Hulk episode 5, Internet Law. Episode 5 plot. Titania started a beauty plane called She-Hulk and is trying to sell Jen for using the name She-Hulk. So Jen and Nikki go to the store and Titania gets mad and they argue. And then they go to court. Jen is losing badly, so they had to prove that Jen has used the name before the brand started existing. And she did on the dating profile, so she had to interview all the guys she dated and stuff. And yeah. And then B-plot was Pug and Nikki. Pug wanted Nikki to stay in line with him to get some Iron Man 3s. And so they made a deal that if she did, they could get, Pug would hook up Jen with some She-Hulk clothes. And they do that, and at the end she does get her clothes, and we get a Daredevil reference with his helmet in a box. Every episode has these art pieces during the credits, and for this one, we see a few seconds, we see the sneakers stuff, and we see sneakers for The Thing, Wolverine, Iron Man, Deadpool, Cyclops, Spider-Man, Black Panther, Captain America, Speedball, Jubilee, Green Goblin, and my favorite, the Moon Knights. Honestly, out of all of these, that's the shoe I would most likely wear, the Moon Knight ones. And then we get some cool Easter eggs with Daredevil's helmet in the box and Leapfrog leaving the costume place. Next we have episode 6, the wedding episode. She-Hulk, attorney at law. So, the plot of episode 6 is Jen gets invited to be bridesmaid at the wedding of her old friend. And she goes there, and this was the one place she wanted to show off her She-Hulk form. But the bridesmaid didn't want that. Which made her upset, so she spent most of her time getting drunk. And then she finds out Titania was at the wedding, and then Titania tries to fight her, and she fights back, and after that, she is accepted for being She-Hulk. The B-plot was a guy named Mr. Immortal, who can't die, is being sued because he married a lot of people, then ran away from their money after faking his death. They also reference the intelligentsia. In the comics, intelligentsia was a supervillain group ran by the leader and had people like MODOK in it. And they went up against Hulk and the Avengers multiple times. But the MCU, it's just a website organization trying to get to Jen's blood and use her powers for evil. And yeah. Okay, so Mr. Immortal, trigger warning for self-harm, but he was just born with his powers. but he discovers them in a really tragic way with the fact that his girlfriend died, so he tried to do self-harm on himself, but he did it enough times to where he found out that he just can't die. So it seems like we're getting a West Coast team up with Ched, Megan the Stallion, Jonathan the dog, and maybe Donnie Blaze, because they could use a sorcerer. This episode was just fresh, fun, and I really liked it. She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, episode 7. The plot for the episode goes as followed. We see montage Jen going on dates with Josh, the hot guy from the wedding, but Josh ghosts her, and meanwhile, Blonsky's ankle monitor misfunctions, but Jen and Blonsky's parole officer has to go to his retreat and fix it, but 2 of the retreat members broke her car, so she's stuck there for the day. She joins the retreat circle and talks about her feelings, and they all agree that it's better to just delete Josh out of her contacts and go on with her life. She goes home, and then it's revealed the reason why Josh ghosted her is because Josh stole her blood. The retreat members are Bullman, who got injected with bull DNA, I guess, and turned into Bullman. I'll be honest, I can't pronounce that, but he's a swashbuckler who is a mutant, and in the comics he had some shock powers. In the support group, we also have Sarsan, can't pronounce that again, was one of the first vampires to ever exist. He used to fight Blade a lot, but in MCU it looks like he's just a crazy guy that thinks he's a vampire, but he really isn't. Then we got Porcupine. He used to make armor for the army. Then he made his own suit, and he's usually an Ant-Man villain. In this, he's a good guy. Also, it's just his suit is just so like I don't want to be next to that. Daredevil, Attorney at Kicking Ass, episode 8. A superhero named Leapfrog gets injured because his suit catches on fire while using his rockets, and he's trying to sue Luke Jacobs, who created the suit, and Jen is the one that has to be his lawyer, which creates tension because Luke Jacobs is the one that made Jen her She-Hulk clothes. So Luke Jacobs gets mad at Jen, but it's okay because turns out Luke Jacobs' lawyer is Matt Murdock, and Jen loses the lawsuit, but it's okay because then Leapfrog calls her up and says she needs help because somebody's attacking him. Turns out it's Daredevil attacking him, and Daredevil explains that he's Matt Murdock, and the fact that Leapfrog kidnapped Luke Jacobs so Luke Jacob would make suits for him. And then they both go to the lily pad, which is the Leapfrog's hideout, and they beat up his goons, the tadpoles, and Leapfrog himself. And then they all go home, and She-Hulk smashes that dirt pussy. But then, right before the episode ended, Jen went to the lawyer gala ceremony thing. She got nominated for Best Female Lawyer, but while she was on stage, the intelligentsia hacked the screen and played some very bad videos and stuff incriminating her for things that weren't even that bad. So basically, I think how Daredevil will work in the MCU is the Netflix shows is not going to be 100% canon, but some parts will be. I guess they're going to pick and choose it. And like Kevin Feige said, Daredevil Born Again is not a season 2, it's a new beginning. Now, I actually do think we're getting a West Coast Avengers team at some point, and I think it would have She-Hulk, White Vision, and maybe Leapfrog, but probably not. Now, the Sokovia Accords, we know it got repealed, which is what Daredevil said in court. So I assume that after Endgame, they were like, hey, these people helped us save half the universe, so yeah, we'll let them. We'll let them. And now get ready for She-Hulk episode 9, the grand finale. So, Jen now fired from her job. She's down on her luck. She lost her house. She has to move in with her parents again. But, so she decides to go to Abomination's retreat. And she gets there, and turns out that Blonsky has been turning into Abomination again. And not just that, the intelligentsia is having a meeting at his retreat. So she gets there, she's mad. Then Titania smashes in. Then Todd becomes Todd Hulk. And then Hulk busts through. And then She-Hulk says like, whoa, this isn't adding up. So she breaks the fourth wall. And then is in Marvel Studios lot. She goes to the writer's room and talks to them about it, and they were like, oh, well, it's Kevin that makes these decisions. And obviously they're referencing Kevin Feige, and she's like, I'm gonna go talk to Kevin, and they're like, I'll kill you if you try to go talk to Kevin. So she goes talk to Kevin. Turns out Kevin is an AI, and oh my god, I just love Kevin. And they make a deal where they'll not do this dumb superhero stuff, and they'll actually try something new. Let something end in a way that's not all flashy like superhero movies are. Let it be a lawyer's show, a self-contained lawyer show, not some big scheme. Now, I'm gonna defend She-Hulk and say some things I don't like. So first off, the defending him. There was a lot of videos when She-Hulk first came out, and it was like, She-Hulk is basically saying all men are bad, and that's untrue. It never had that narrative at all. Just was showing the ones she was dating was bad. The show is supposed to be more of a lawyer show, not a superhero show, so a lot of people are getting mad about, like, I want a big fight scene with Titania and stuff, but this is a lawyer show. Not everything has to be big and grand. The show is supposed to break the status quo of the MCU, which kind of goes with the other one I already said, but yeah. But some things I didn't like is the failed potential. I hate when things have failed potential. They could have had more things done with Titania, but they didn't. Maybe if this show was longer, maybe if we get a season 2, we'll have like stuff like Titania having a good ending. The Intelligentsia was obviously a website instead of a super villain group, but you know, it sucks, but that's just how it is. And finally, Scar is in the MCU. He better either be in the Young Avengers, or even better, he better be in some sort of World War Hulk storyline. Anyways, what should I review next? Iron Man or Moon Knight?